It's uncompromising, addictive, and often unforgiving. With an adrenaline rush like no other. There's no practice, no second chances. It's the ultimate motorsport competition on gravel. It is rally, and this is the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship. It's the second full year of the two-wheel drive era, and teams have regrouped in Canberra for the opening round of 6 in the series. Round 1 begins here in the nation's capital before teams head west to the 30th anniversary running of the Quit Forest Rally in April. Round 3 is the International Rally of Queensland, run in conjunction with the Asia Pacific Championship being held on the Sunshine Coast. South Australia will host Round 4, Scouts Rally SA, before teams prepare for Coates Hire Rally Australia in Coffs Harbour. The final round is once again Rally Victoria in Gippsland. 6 rounds covering one side of Australia to the other to establish who will be the champions for 2014. After a 2-year domination with the Honda Jazz, Eli Evans and Glenn Weston return with a different car. Theirs will be the Honda Civic Type R. But last-minute issues mean the car was not ready when they fronted for the opening round with a borrowed machine, Justin Dow's VW Polo. Early signs from the Armour All Power stage suggest other teams will need to be on their guard.
Yeah, look, it's a pretty good package, I think. Straight from word go, it's an affordable package. It handles quite well. In the fast stuff, it's really nimble and it's really balanced, and that's what I like about it. It's also got really good turn-in and traction in the tight stuff, so there's some things it does probably better than the Jazz, and there's other things it doesn't do as good.
Scott Petter and Dale Moscott are back with the Renault Clio R3, this time with engineering from Walkinshaw Racing. Engine dramas pre-event meant a new power plant has been flown in from France just days before the Clio was due in Canberra.
Yeah, we've done a fair bit of development. I think the guys at Walkinshaw have done a great job of sort of ironing out a few of the inherent, I suppose, problems with the car. Particularly rear suspension travel. That's quite a big advantage this year over last year, and just small refinements. I think the car will develop over the year. So if we're not fast enough here, I think we'll continue to be faster throughout the year.
The only change to Brendan Reeves' Mazda 2 is the name on the window. His co-driver sister Rhiannon changing from Smythe to Gelsomino after marrying Ken Block's co-driver Alex.
Yeah, our team's fairly concrete coming into 2014. Same Mazda 2, we've just prepared it hopefully better for this season. The boys have done a lot of work over the off-season just to make the car 100% ready, and that showed today in the power stage.
The Warhope Warrior returns in the VW. He and sister Helen Cheers have repowered the Polo with a smaller turbocharged engine allowed under the rules. Hopefully this will mean more cost-effective competition for the privateers from northern New South Wales. But a CAM's invoked 27mm restrictor rule is causing concern.
These cars naturally come with a 36mm turbo, so 36mm is not huge by any means, but we've restricted it even more. So anyway, we've just got to play the waiting game for this event and probably hopefully finish without melting too much, and put a submission in at the end of the rally for a bloody bigger restrictor.
Mick Patton and Bernie Webb have also changed the Repco VW to a similar power plant, so both teams will be using this event as a test bed.
We've got what we think now is a better package. We needed to do a bit of R&D, which was always going to be the case, but hopefully just wasn't this far behind the 8 ball for starters, but we'll give it our best shot as per usual.
New to 2014, Team Citroën, 2 DS3 R3Ts under the guidance of an Aussie who's been playing on the world rally scene now for several years.
I think the first thing for this event is to concentrate on getting the mileage under the belt, seat time in the car, and try to put in some competitive times when it feels like it's the right time. But with the weather today, who knows? I mean, it's something we've just got to wait and see.
The ACT's Adrian Coppin is behind the wheel of one car, with Tim Batten again sitting alongside. After a couple of seasons in the ARC, Coppin steps up to the Citroen.
Very exciting to be part of the Team Citroen Australia. The car is very different from what I had last year. It's going to be another learning curve again for me all over again, but really looking forward to the challenge, and yeah, can't wait to see what today holds.
Tony Sullins made a surprise appearance in the ARC 2 seasons ago after an absence of several years chasing the Tarmac Series. He returns in the sister Citroen in his first attempt at this level in outright two-wheel drive.
It would be, without a shadow of a doubt, the best car I've ever driven. It's just straight out of the box, without any adjustments to the suspension. The first time we drove it, I said, wow, this is a good thing. And we really haven't changed much, a few little tickles here and there, but we're really running on the standard basic setup that the French people give you.
Steve McKenzie's new turbo Ford Fiesta G2 is not quite ready, so he starts the season in his older model Fiesta. On paper, the fastest of the junior challenge drivers could well be pushing the more fancy teams. Alan Rowe has been threatening to bring out the Ford Focus he's been building for the last 2 years. He and the experienced Ben Searcy are here to take the mystery out of front-wheel drive.
I was always a bit anti-front-wheel drive, but once you drive it in the gravel, it's pretty exciting.
Hailing from Tasmania, Waylon and Job Sims have built and prepared this immaculate Peugeot 207 in the family workshop and come to the opening round with little seat time or experience.
It's all a big learning. We'll just take it easy. It's a long event, so just finish, mate, back to service, and then we might have a bit more of a run, second run through.
We're on the outskirts of Canberra for round one. The Armour All Power stage has already been run and won by the narrowest of margins. It was Brendan Reeves, back to Eli Evans, then Scott Petter, then the new kids on the block, Coppin and Sullins in the mighty Citroens. Now, I've been out over the course and I believe the roads are the best they've been for 20 years. That is going to be a cracking start to the season.
And that season gets started right after the break. Welcome back. While the business of running the country is at rest over the weekend, the business of running the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship is front and centre at the National Capital Rally. Heat 1 begins in the forest near Tidbinbilla, a traditional rally location in the ACT. Coates 1 is the first special stage, often referred to as Oki, as reigning champion Eli Evans' his first car on the road. Right-hand drive VW Polo covering the 17 kilometres in 13 minutes 5 seconds. But they're lucky.
Right 5 opens long. Oh, good job. Then turn past left 1.
Still, not a bad effort for a first time in the unfamiliar car.
Ooh, that was a get out of jail free card.
Yeah. Sitting on the wrong side of the car, I think.
Yeah.
Jarred my wrist.
My pace notes got covered in blackberry juice.
Yeah.
Scott Petter has his eyes on. Walkinshaw Renault is quick.
Care bad, late 3 left. Care bad, late 3 left. 30. Short 4 left on don't cut neat. 80.
Remarkably, the Kumo tyre stays up and Petter records a time of 12 minutes and 57 seconds. But the steering wheel is out of whack.
12.54.0. I don't think it's flat. I think it's just bent something in the suspension. It must have, because it's rubbing on the inner guard.
100. Turn 5 right, in, narrow exit, hard to see.
Brendan Reeves is second fastest, even stopping to check out the blackberries.
5 left cut.
Shit. My bad. Put a caution there.
Yep.
A lucky break for the Rally School Mazda 2. Not so lucky for the rally-safe entry of Waylon Sims. 6 kilometres into the first special stage and an axle lets go. The Sims brothers forced to nurse the car through to the finish. Michael Bowden's premonition about cooking the engine isn't far off the mark. The Polo's engine temp is off the scale.
I don't know what to do, but it's getting that f***ing hot.
The water temperature hit 130 degrees.
This next one's another 16 k's.
The Repco VW fares better, but is slow. Mick Patton and Bernie Webb complete the stage. The electronic tune in his car has been lowering the turbo boost, the hotter the engine gets.
Then brake over second crest, 30, turn left 2 sharp down.
Through Ryco, Evans drops further down the leaderboard when the left front drive shaft breaks.
250 crest finish.
Reeves turns the table on Pedder through SS2 by 1.9 seconds.
That stage was good. It's really demanding, really difficult. The car doesn't feel like it's got a lot of power because the moisture in the road is taking the power out of the car. But good clean run in there, we really pushed.
The Renault is suffering from bent suspension and in need of service, but that's still 2 stages away.
Yeah, we hit a rock, I think, that Eli brought out on the first stage, and it's bent the steering wheel about 45 degrees, bent control arms and stuff, but despite that, we were fastest on the first one, and I think we'll be fastest maybe in there, but maybe I found the secret to driving front-wheel drive cars. You just need about 20 mil of toe-in on the left-hand front wheel.
Steve McKenzie is third fastest in the Fiesta, punching above his weight and in front of both Citroens. First stage, Tony Sullins was quicker than his Fibertech Medical teammate by 5 seconds. But a road roux and a spin keep him behind Adrian Coppin through SS2. Patton's Repco Polo would have been the quickest of the VWs, but a steel post on the outside of a tight left-hander cost dearly.
We've run a tiny bit wide on a 3 left in there in the new section, very narrow road, and there was a metal pole, much like the one down here, that was there to catch us out. So I think we've gotten away with it fairly lightly for what could have happened, but we've been doing 50 k's an hour out of the stage. We've just got to go and try and put the bits back in it and get it working again.
Although not campaigning the championship, Nathan Quinn has entered the rally in a Peugeot 207 owned by John Mills. After feeling his way, Quinn has been making adjustments to the car to help the handling, but they are 4th in stage.
We were extremely slow, just we lost a lot of road speed. I think maybe the car's a little bit too stiff, but we're still having fun, and it started getting a rhythm in that stage, so we'll just keep building. We might make a change going to the next one, see what that does.
It works. Quinn and David Calder are third through the TechWorks special stage, known in the past as East-West. With Evans out and Pedder languishing with steering and suspension issues, Brendan Reeves takes a measured approach to a stage he has never competed on. Last year, this stage suffered heavily from rain and was cancelled from the competition to save the road surface.
6 left wide up, 40, 10 left up, press brake, immediate 5 right.
Adrian Coppin is the only Citroen through SS3. Tony Sullins discovers the sister car is thirstier on fuel and he falls short of refuel by 3 k's. At Blewett's, the short Pedder suspension stage, Brendan Reeves takes the win from Nathan Quinn and Adrian Coppin. Pedder never makes his own special stage. The rear cross member in the Renault snaps, making it impossible to drive, and he's forced into early service. In a demonstration typical of the camaraderie among the rally fraternity, 2 opposition teams throw their weight behind the Walkinshaw Racing team to get Scott Pedder back in the game.
Looking a bit busy, so we just jumped in, and we'd rather beat him in the bush legit rather than stand back and watch him struggle in service.
So Scott Pedder departs to rejoin the repeat afternoon legs. Stick around for that action right after the break. Welcome back to the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship from Canberra, where the National Capital Rally has been turned on its ear, with so many cars suffering problems.
I'm not sure how many cars are left. We're just going to rejoin now, and if we can get through these next 4 stages, we might actually find ourselves with some decent points, even though we didn't finish 2 stages. So that's the way the super system works with the points. So we might find ourselves jagging 20-odd points. So that's what we're aiming for.
Brendan Reeves has control over the rally at this point, but it's early days.
We want today's heat points. We want to keep pushing. Eli's missed 2 stages. He's 10 minutes behind now. He'll re-enter, but looking at our championship, we need this win to really get the year off to a great start. So we'll just keep pushing on. The boys are doing some work on the car now, making some small improvements. Wasn't quite happy with the front end grip into the slow corners. We fixed the rear grip out of the slow corners. It was stepping out. We've chased that up now and hopefully we can get a bit more grip turning in and it'll be great.
Steve McKenzie is in a surprising third behind Nathan Quinn, who is not registered for the championship. So the Opticoat Fiesta driver finds himself in a good position.
We're doing what we feel is comfortable at the moment. There's a couple of spots I think I can push a bit harder for the next run, so hopefully we can stay where we are and yeah, that should be good.
It's not good for Michael Bowden. They're out after just one stage and he's frustrated with the rules.
If you worked it out mathematically and how much air you can get into that thing, fills a 1.4 litre motor. So there was no chance of me ever going to finish a stage. When your pressure drops off and you've got back pressure in the exhaust is higher than the intake pressure, what do you got? A hot spot. Boom, boom. End of story.
Care 10 left becomes keep 8 left tuck.
The Repco Polo has the same engine, but is tuned differently. Effectively, as the engine gets hotter, it decreases the turbo boost and retards the timing. The car has a better chance of finishing, but at 4 seconds a kilometre slower, it'll hardly keep pattern in the competition. Down by 10 minutes, the Tank Formers VW rejoins the afternoon stages.
Double caution crest into slow right 3, 20, slippy hairpin left late down. Oh, that's it. You right, mate? That's not going anywhere.
And 6 right, 50.
The tighter and wet roads play into Steve McKenzie's hands. Without the high horsepower others have, he relies on these conditions to capitalise. His thoughts are to Nathan Quinn, who is slightly quicker than him and running on the road behind.
Okay, 7 past left in over brow, slippy exit. 60.
The pressure is off Brendan and Rhiannon, but mistakes can still easily happen.
8 left tidy. 8 left tidy here. 100.
Having rejoined and travelling at the back of the field, Penner finds himself amidst the carnage.
36 left.
First, Nathan Quinn, who has rolled.
In branches. 8 left.
Then Eli Evans.
Down turn 0 left.
And both Waylon Sims and Alan Rowe sidelined toward the end of stage, a stage that is his by 2.7 seconds. Without time to set the car up, the Walkinshaw Renault is not handling well, and Penner gets caught in the slippery conditions through Ryco 2.
Late. 3 left. Opens. Brake 20. 1 right plus. Good save.
Reeves and Gelsomino win through with a 9-second advantage over Pedder and Moscott. The Citroens are consistent through SS6, Coppin with the advantage despite a spin early on.
Left 4, don't cut. To left 4, don't cut. Oh, you son of a bitch. We're good, we're good.
For his teammate Tony Sullins, today is about bagging experience, not points. He too spins in the slippery stage.
Left 5 very long. Left 5 very long into crest. Water. Just along for the ride there. Yep.
Car's good, fixed up the rear suspension, the thing's handling really good now. Had a big spin in the last stage, not really anybody's fault. It just was a big puddle of water and just we ended up facing the wrong way down the road, and it took us a lot of backward and fooling to get it back the right direction, so we lost a lot of time. Really slippery, as everybody's probably already telling you. Yeah, we just total through and there we go.
Despite the carnage today, both Citroens are still in the game.
Good go trying to get out of the game in that last stage, but we had a big spin and lost a heap of time, and then this Citroen DS3 is just a very tough car. Ran over a big dirt mound drain and sent us in the air up on 2 wheels, and the car's held up perfectly, so lost a bit of time in there, but no, look, we're just trying to stay here, and Steve's having a good go, and someone needs to support that kid because he's awesome. But no, look, we're still here. We're just trying to bring it home for Citroen.
As teams line up with 2 stages to go in Heat 1, Steve McKenzie is focused on a podium finish.
I really haven't looked into the championship too much. Like I said earlier, we're chasing podiums at the moment this year, so
we're on track at the moment.
Road conditions are so slippery that even the zero or clearing car came to grief in the previous stage. So, through SS7, the Rally School Mazda 2 is the first car on the road, and they must take more care. TechWorks was always a stage Scott Pedder intended to push hard on. Tight and technical, it suits the Walkinshaw Renault team. Even in the wet, they sweep through the stage 23 seconds faster than Reeves.
Short 9 right, short 7 left, brake 30, 3 right. 50.
Back at Blewett's, the track is dry for the final stage, Pedder's suspension. Scott Pedder finishes on a high, dead heating with Reeves across the 4K stage. But the day and heat belongs to Brendan and sister Rhiannon. Consistent driving and good mechanical preparation. A great day for everyone, especially the car's owner, Mick Ryan.
18 months ago was the first time that we drove the car, and Brendo drove it all last year, and we fine-tuned some stuff. And I guess a lot of the stuff we've learnt, the guys like the Simses and the fellas with the new cars this year are out there, those teething problems. So we've done that hard yards. Hopefully it's a start of a good year for us.
Yeah, it's our first ever heat win. I think it's been something coming for a long time. I guess I'm still only 25. It doesn't feel like it because I've been rallying so long. But the car did a great job today. Like, it's pretty tough conditions, some of the trickiest roads for the drivers and co-drivers out there. And then the rain that was thrown in there as well. So it was a shame we couldn't race to the end with Scott and Eli, but still very happy with the win.
So a first ARC heat win for Brendan Reeves and a first podium for Steve McKenzie. Adrian Coppin is third, and although Scott Pedder's time is quicker, he didn't complete every stage and therefore finishes in fourth. Had Tony Sullins not run out of fuel, he too would have finished in front of Pedder. But those are the rules, and that keeps the championship alive. Next up, the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship heads east from Canberra to the famous Cowan Forest for the second heat of the National Capital Rally.
Double caution crest into slow right 3, 20, slippy hairpin left late down. Oh, that's it.
No, it's not what we had planned when we came to the event. But you know, rallying's always an interesting sport, and it gives you great highs and even greater lows. So this is one of those lows. But I guess we can't complain. You know, it's our first DNF in over 2.5 years. But that's the end of the 12-run winning streak, I think, though. Look, I don't think the nudging the tree that ultimately put us out was a left-hand drive, right-hand drive thing, but certainly some of the little moments that we had earlier were, and that just bruises everyone's confidence, you know, when you're hitting things and nudging things that you don't think you're going to hit. You know, it's really hard to set a competitive time there. So I think, you know, Eli did underestimate a little bit how difficult it would be to change. You know, you think that you drive a right-hand drive car every day, but it's a bit different when you're going flat out between the trees, and if you think you're on the wrong side of the car, it messes things up. So I had plenty of tree branches slapping my windscreen, but that's okay. I've done the same thing before with other drivers where they've changed to left-hand drive, and it's exactly the same, yeah.
The shape of the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship is changing. For the first time, Eli Evans and Glenn Weston are not in contention. It was a long day for another front-runner as well.
Yeah, it was a very long day, and you know, what started as probably an unlucky day for us ended up as a lucky day. So, as I said yesterday, it's one of those days that you look back on hopefully and think, you know, we bagged probably 20 more points than what we thought we were going to.
But today's another day and another heat, quite unlike Heat 1.
Very different. You're talking about two different rallies. You've got red clay over yesterday's side, and then today it's, you know, hard packed and a bit more silty. So I actually think the rain's going to help out. There'll be some puddles in the low-lying areas. There's probably 3 or 4 corners that we had a look at on the video last night and thought, you know, that might be slippery. But other than that, she's flat out today.
Going flat out on gravel is any road driver's nightmare. So just what's the secret to going fast in the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship?
People often ask me how it is the Australian Rally Championship drivers can hold the road at such high speeds. Now, apart from the obvious talent of the crews and the engineering of the cars, these are the reasons why. The Kumo Rally tyre, specifically designed to suit any of the surfaces that we throw at the teams. These two tyres here are asymmetrical design, meaning there's a specific left and a right tyre, and you can see that by the pattern. The inside block that always runs on the inside of our cars are a solid block, square, and help our guys with feel through the corners. The outer blocks are designed to get rid of the mud or the stones and try and get down and bite into the surface of the road, giving them the maximum amount of grip. We even have the edges of the blocks are really crucial to car feel and also braking and acceleration. So these tyres here are crucial to the ultimate speed of our Australian Rally Championship cars.
I'm Brendan Reeves from the Rally School Mazda 2 team. As a rally driver, we have many challenges out there. Yesterday, I come across a few. The conditions were really difficult. It was so slippery. I was on the Kumo 205 tyres. It was sliding around in the wetter conditions, but on the dry sections, it was really good. Being a rally driver, we have many different corners, probably 1,000 different corners in this rally. We only get to see them twice in recce. Next time is flat out at competitive speed. So as a co-driver and driver, it's a challenge for us to get that car from start to finish as quick as we can through those different corners that we've only seen those couple of times. So you might get one perfect, you might muck one up, but over the stage it averages out, and we generally have a lot of fun doing it.
An ECB insight into life as a rally driver. Coming up next will be action from the final heat of round 1 of the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship from the National Capital Rally in Canberra. You're watching the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship from the National Capital Rally. Cowan Forest is synonymous with rallying in Canberra, and that's where the competition is based for Heat 2. It's a clean slate, and although Eli Evans is not part of the mix today, Brendan Reeves and Scott Petter go head-to-head from the start. The Innate Motorsports sponsored Stage 9 is wide open, top speed counts. Taking into account the drier, harder roads, the Rally School Mazda 2 has had some ride height changes in the suspension to better handle the conditions. He and sister Rhiannon cover the 16 kilometres in 9 minutes and 20 seconds.
Flying finish.
Scott Petter loses the drag race stage by 3 seconds, but is keen to get into the more technical SS10.
Turn 5 right.
The Citroens are 3rd and 4th, but 20 seconds behind the lead pair. On local roads, Adrian Coppen would be expected to be quicker, and he is, but by just 4 seconds over his teammate.
To the left 4.5 over 100. To right 4.5 over 100, 200.
Tony Sullins has never competed in Canberra, but his times are respectable nonetheless.
Jump over finish. This one's crest straight 80, then slowing crest, jump over finish. 30 to left 4. Okay.
I could have got a bit more committed, but I never really knew that stage.
Heat 2 would never suit Steve McKenzie. The open roads of SS9 meant he was struggling to stay in touch. For all those reasons, it was Alan Rowe's best stage of the weekend. The slightly heavier Ford Focus and its 2-litre turbocharged engine gave Rowe his first taste of the potential in the new car.
9 left tightens to 8 over brow in. 9 left tightens 8 in at 150.
The Sims brothers did make the finish of the stage, but the engine was flooding, delivering unburnt fuel down the exhaust that in turn set the catalytic converter ablaze.
Get your fire extinguisher out, ready? Yep.
There was smoke in the cabin, fortunately no major fire.
Stop here, just... Ready? You jump out.
The brothers returned early to service though to check it out.
Stay right, 7 left hold, turn 4 right.
The sole remaining VW was 7th, but the Repco Polo was languishing down the leaderboard, unable to deliver speed from the heavily restricted engine.
Right, 70, 10 left, 100.
Works VMware is the old River Road stage, and it suits Scott Petter.
3 right, over brow. 400. Brow. 9 right, in. 200.
Reeves knows he's in hot pursuit. The rocks are from Pedder, who is first car on the road, and he's leaving them in his wake.
Switch 8 left medium in fast.
They lose valuable seconds in a race that could easily go down to the wire later in the day. Still, there is enough in it to take the heat lead.
Then tighten 6 fast up.
Nothing separates the Citroens and the Fiesta. Steve McKenzie is all but matching the factory outfit in the older model Ford.
Move to right ruts.
Reeves returns serve through SS11, Ridges Lakeside. Keeping the revs up in the Rally School Mazda is the secret without damaging the car in the process. It's a win to Reeves by 1.2 seconds, but the heat is still in favour of Pedder by 1.3. Before the rally returned to service, there's another short blast around Pedder's suspension at Blewett's.
We knew we were going to struggle on the first one because it's all horsepower and the Mazda's got a bit more than us. But it looks like they've readjusted time at the third stage, so we've won 2 and 3 today.
The advantage lies with Reeves. With all his issues in Heat 1, this will be only the second pass Pedder has made of this stage at speed. Brendo is relaxed.
We certainly want to try and win, so that's why we're keeping the pressure there. We're winning a stage, he's winning a stage, we're winning a stage. And it's been really good, fun competition. So I don't feel like the pressure's on me, I feel like the pressure's on him to make another mistake. I'm driving fairly comfortable, really enjoying it. It's a nice sunny day.
We jump aboard to see just who will be quickest through the Pedder suspension Blewett stage before the final service.
Go. 28 left bumpy. 45 left in. Into 5 right small cut. Into 7 left. 50. 8 right in tighten switch. 6 left. 30. 5 minus right narrow surface. 100.
Flat left 50. Flat left on crest, 80, turn 8 left, hump, 50, flat brow 200, flat crest 80, crest 80, 7 right good, 30, 8 left, 80, flat left 200.
200, brake turns 3 right sharp, hard to see. 120. Crest 10 left, 35 plus left ruts. 100. Brake early yump, 50, caution, turns 3 minus right in.
50. 9 right, in on crest, into 7 left, and 5 left at dip.
4 right in over sharp jump, 4 right in over sharp jump, 50. Flat 10 right up crest, 50, 9 right over crest, braking, slowly tightens, keep 6 don't. Rocky 40, 7 plus left, into flat crest, 50, 8 right in crest, into 6 plus left, dip.
8 left over crest, into dip, 8 left over crest, 50, 6 right, 80, slow, medium, 5 right, in, 20, turn medium, 2 left, 50, 9 left, 30.
Then caution, 6 right, don't. 30, 4 left, medium up. 40, turn 6 minus left, tightens. Sharp, loose bump. Into 6 right, medium. Into 6 left. Then 10 right on brow, dip. 9 left, flying finish.
Through finish, into 8 right over brow.
The seesaw continues. Reeves grabs the Heat 2 lead with just 3 stages to go. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship from the spiritual home of rallying, Canberra. It's been a tough weekend for the VW Polos After Michael Bowden damaged his engine, Mick Patton has been monitoring the Repco Polo engine very carefully. At service, the oil overflow has a milky solution, suggesting water is in the engine oil.
Our catch can's just on in front of the left-hand front wheel there, so I think a bit of water's got in there. So, yeah, everything else looks to be good, and we'll obviously monitor that for the last 3 stages after lunch.
The bigger issue for Mick is giving away horsepower through a restrictor, and he's looking for resolution.
Unfortunately, we're struggling with top-end speed. I think we, on a couple of those long straights, quickest was about 135 k's an hour, which is very disappointing to say the least. But handing 2 or 3 seconds a kilometre to some of these other guys is, it's a difficult process.
This is well short, 10 right at post.
The process doesn't get any easier for he and Bernie Webb through SS13.
Long brow, stay right, and 6 left mid. Hey? Okay, 6 left mid at the end of this care, long brow, stay right. Now, the only thing is we're risking blowing up the front diff. Depends on what that means to you.
Let's change it. What are we losing?
10 right, get to the top of the hill. 10 right over hump, straight 50.
Team Citroen, meantime, is neck and neck, holding down 3rd and 4th. Coppin leads Sullins by just 1 second.
100 care left 3. Further across to you.
For Tony Sullins, the repeat pass has given him the confidence to push harder for the first time over the weekend.
Into crest, then crest left 5, into right 5, 80.
Turn 2 left.
Steve McKenzie disappeared off the radar 2 stages before service with a flat battery. The brothers got it going but were unable to rejoin until after lunch. But it isn't the end of their woes.
200. Drive shaft. No, really. Trying to cruise through or...
They withdraw, but reconsider their position when they realise they have completed 75% of the rally, a requirement to gain points from the heat. To get those points, though, they must reach the final control back in Canberra. So they carefully guide the stricken Fiesta back onto the stage and through to the finish with just 1 remaining drive axle. Waylon and Job Sims never make it out of 13. It's been their weekend for axles, and this time it's both at once. The Peugeot 207 is going nowhere. With hotter temperatures, Reeves has shifted the Rally School Mazda 2 onto the harder Kumo 800s at service, and he pushes.
Turn square left, slippy.
He snatches the stage and extends his heat lead to 3.5 seconds over Scott Petter.
Turn 4 right up.
50.
Petter is pushing hard though, harder than the first pass, and he comes oh so close to matching Reeves' time. After 16 kilometres, just 1.5 seconds separates the 2 lead cars. The tighter technical nature of quirks is to Petter's liking. He is half a second a K quicker than Reeves over the 9 kilometres. Reeves gives away the stage win and with it the outright rally lead. He's banking on the harder 800 Kumos helping him in the final stage of the rally. In reality though, the Mazda likely has more grunt out of the tight corners onto the straights. Tony Sullins was upbeat by the end of SS13, but that soon turned sour when the clutch in the Citroen went to the floor after control.
Go.
He and Julia Barkley have no idea whether the car will start SS14.
Come on, baby, you can do it.
Come on, please.
Come to life. Please come to life.
Success. Their time is only a minute more than Petter. Some consolation for the very slow start off the line using the starter motor.
This is slower than recce speed.
So Sullins is again forced to use the starter to get moving in the final stage of the rally. All they need to do is get through the stage and back to service to complete their weekend.
We've got nothing. It's not going to go. We have to get it and push it out of the way, park it up. It's not going anywhere, and we're going to end up getting in someone else's way.
Yep.
That someone is Mick Patton, but they clear the intersection before the Repco Polo arrives. Meantime, Further on into the stage, the battle for the lead is going to the wire. It's all stops out for Brendan Reeves, who trails Scott Pedder by just 1.2 seconds coming into this stage. By the hairpin at the 2K mark, Pedder is in front by nearly a second.
9 left, 50. Late, turn 2 right, gas.
At the 5.5 kilometre mark, he still holds the lead. After another 5 kilometres, Reeves has hauled in the deficit and now leads by 3 seconds. The final 4 kilometres, he drags another 3+ seconds out of his opponent to win the stage by 6.6, and with it, his second ARC heat.
Yeah, I think we're going to lose the horsepower battle. The first one and the third one are square junctions and a lot of uphill stuff, and we've obviously got the pretty basic tune in this one, and obviously with the issues last week. So, you know, the car's handling and braking brilliantly. So the guys at Walkinshaw done a fantastic job. But the next evolution of this car is obviously horsepower.
Oh, nice. Like, we didn't really have to win today, but we just wanted to do it for ourselves, start the year in maximum points. Really good feeling. Like, the car's done a great job. We're leaking a little bit of coolant. We're a little bit nervous about that. There was a massive impact in a braking on the first stage after service, but I'm glad we took that time back out of him, because the second stage there he took a huge chunk out of us. Yeah. So that feels really good.
I said today, let's give him a bit of a push along on the second last one, and knowing that we were going to struggle in that last one just because of horsepower. So, you know, I was 28 when I won my first ARC, he's 25, so that makes him 10% better than me.
Accolades there from a seasoned and perhaps smarting Scott Pedder, who has at least salvaged what early yesterday could have been a disastrous start to the season. Adrian Coppin collects third in heat for Citroen behind Reeves and Pedder, while Alan Rowe and Mick Patton are rewarded for their persistence in hanging on to the end. The Kumho Tyre Spirit of the Rally Award for perseverance and persistence. Clearly the domain of Waylon and Job Sims this round, the award presented by 1981 world champion Ari Vartnen. In championship terms, a clean sweep by Brendan Reeves, grabbing every maximum point on offer this weekend. Scott Pedder still very much in the mix, and like Eli Evans, will be back with a vengeance for round 2. Consistency in the Citroen rewarding Adrian Coppin with third, while Steve McKenzie will be disappointed with late mechanical failure, robbing him of a weekend podium. Somehow Mick Patton has dragged the Repco Polo to the finish despite the heavy engine restriction, but he and Michael Bowden will need more speed to be competitive in the VWs. National Capital Rally comes to a close, and the East Coast Bullbars Australian Rally Championship has begun for the 2014 season. It continues next round in Western Australia at the 30th running of the Quit Forest Rally. We'll see you there.
Today's coverage is made possible by Kumho Tyre, Pedder Suspension, Armor, Co Tyre, Can-Am, Polaris, High-Tech Oils, and our supporting partner East Coast Bullbars, world's best alloy bull bars.